All right, I think we should get started with what we have. Anybody can join after. It looks like Donna's coming. Donna, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear
Yes.
you too. You hear us all right? Good. Hello. Okay. We usually start with a prayer and a song, and I know Benjamin suggested a song last week, but a lot of songs begin with that word, Ben. So you'll have to find the number and tell me which number you mean, because I can't tell which song that was. Meanwhile, Cheyenne has chosen 337. So we're going to go with 337, and I'm going to share the screen so that we can see 337. All right. Does everybody see 337?
Yep.
All right. One thing that is difficult about Zoom, and maybe you've already realized this, is that if we all try to sing together, it comes out as a mess because of the delay. When I start to sing a note, you may not start to sing that note for another minute or so, a half a minute or so. So what we have to do is to mute everybody and just have one person sing. And Cheyenne, I'm going to ask you if you would be willing to lead us in this song. Are you willing to do that? Unmute yourself. Would you like to lead us, Cheyenne?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody else, please mute yourself. I will mute myself, and then Cheyenne, you go ahead and sing, and we will follow along and sing at home.
Tuta,
Yes.
can you put your cursor on the line that she's singing also?
Sure,
For the
absolutely.
big.
Yep. Yep.
Bell.
Let's see. This is what a day.
Okay.
Like that? Got it?
Jishikat Akacha Pakwatamak Akacha Jimayak Katau Dijipayu Jiyamai Tamuin Kachitayayan Papami Jishika Mushnam Jesus Wapamat Katami Jishika Washishudu Dastamik and Bapti Majihin Nitichi Saudinit Atistinu Daikia Tapami Jishika Mushanam the Quen exprimit Mishamahitamuin Kia Agusirin Wishachahitamuin Kia Namamiskat Kanakat Bitunano Kajita Javijawa Christ Jesus Jesus Wapamat Katami Ujishikau Washishudu Dastamir and Kajipi Machihi Nitichi Jautinit Achistinu Taikia Tapami Uchishika Mushuna. Bye.
Thank you very much. That was very good. Let's have a word of prayer and we'll get started. Imatao, Janiskumin Chamando, Chajiminan, Notum Nui Chagan Sultan Zoom meeting. Thank you for this time that we can gather together and talk about this precious language that you've given to this people up in Kawa Chikamach. Thank you for the song. Thank you for this time. Thank you for these friends. We owe Jesus Christ in the Baiticha Shimanan. Amen. Okay, everybody else can stay muted until I ask you to talk. But meanwhile, you can feel free to cut in and say something. If you say, Bill, I can't hear you, or could you go back and go over that again, please? I was asked this morning about, well, what's this course going to be about? Is it, are we going to learn Naskapi? Are we going to learn to speak Naskapi here? No, I can't. I'm not prepared to teach people how to speak the Naskapi language. I can teach you about the Naskapi language, though. I can teach you how to read the Naskapi language. But to learn to speak the Naskapi language, you need to listen to a Naskapi speaker. And there is coming an online Naskapi language course, but it just hasn't been released yet. And hopefully it'll be released sometime during this course in the next few weeks. And I'll be able to introduce that to you, and you'll be able to show people how to learn to speak Naskapi using the internet. But this course is about the Naskapi language. So we're going to learn things about how to read and write it. We're going to learn about the nouns and verbs in the Naskapi language. We're going to learn why the Naskapi language is written the way it's written, and how is that different from Cree. Those kinds of things is what we'll be covering in this course. Also, we'll be using some tools that the Naskapi language has for the computer. One of the new tools is the Zoom meeting. And we can gather in meetings like this and talk to each other. And we can use meetings like this to learn about the Naskapi language. Another thing that we can share is that in the Facebook post, there's a number of links that Ben shared there. So if you go to the Naskapi Radio Facebook page and you click on the place where it says about, let me share my screen and I'll go there. That's here. Yeah, that's it. That's not the one I wanted. I'm sorry. And I'll stop sharing that. I thought I had.
You're in the right place.
Oh yeah, I was in. Can you see me? Can you see the Zoom?
It's on the right side.
All right, there it is. Okay. So in the Naskapi Radio, where it says about the information hub of Kawa Chikamach, there's the place where you can listen online by clicking that link. There's the emergency numbers, and then just underneath this are several links where it says add Naskapi syllabics to your device. If we click on that, then you can get all of the programs so that you can type Naskapi on your computer or your phone. And there's other links for the Naskapi ebooks, like the Naskapi hymn book is there under this one that says Naskapi ebooks. And other books that we will be reading are here in the Naskapi ebooks link. There's a link for the online Naskapi dictionary. There's a link for the Naskapi Bible. But right now I want to just focus on the Naskapi keyboards and to be sure that everybody on the Zoom call is able to type in Naskapi. All right, so either a show of hands or unmute yourself and say something if you're not able to type in Naskapi on the device that you're at. Can you type in Naskapi at the Naskapi Nation? Madeline, can you type in Naskapi on yours?
No, I can't.
No.
I'm looking for what you were talking about. I can't find it.
All right. Do you know where the Naskapi Radio Facebook page is?
Yeah, I'm on it
Okay.
now. This
All right.
one?
All right. Ben, on a phone, how do they find those links? Ben, you unmute yourself and tell us.
You should. They move things around a bit on Facebook, so I'm trying to find it myself.
Yeah.
I'll go. I found it.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell her, show her.
On your phone, it looks like this, chat.
Yes.
Okay, now click on the word that says Naskapi Radio with the phone number. See that?
Okay. Yeah.
And then you see it says about at the top, and then it says see more.
Yeah.
So then see more, and then scroll down, and it has all of the links, Mishkish.
Yeah. And which link do I press?
The one that says type Naskapi.
It says add Naskapi syllabics to your device
That's
and
the
style.
one. Okay.
Come on.
Okay. And Madeline?
Because I see tickets. Is that it?
Tickets.
Much. Below that.
Below that?
It looks like this.
Yeah, because mine is all written in French.
You have the translation now.
No, wait, I don't see, because I see information hub of Kawawa, no tickets and no fake. Something.
And scroll down. What's below that?
Recommendations and administration.
You see more right below the no tickets.
Wait, yeah, okay, wait. Yep, no tickets, no fake news, no racism.
And then below that.
Members? About members?
Let me see your phone.
Whoops.
Now scroll up.
Up.
Do
you see?
Okay, right there, right below that. Oh, you're in the tickets page. You're not in the Naskapi news page.
Oh. Naskapi news.
I also put it in the chat of this Zoom as well.
Okay.
So if anybody
well, anyway, I'll figure it out.
All right.
Just
I can message it to you, Gabich, Madeline.
Yeah, Madeline, Benjamin, you could private message each other.
Okay.
Cheyenne, are you on a computer? Can you type in syllabics on that computer? Okay, good. All right, people at the Naskapi Nation of Kawa Chikamach, I see Maggie, Melissa. Who else is there? Go ahead, unmute Naskapi Nation and tell me who's around the table. I see you waving, but I can't see your face. You're too far away.
Can't hear you, Gabich.
Tell me who you are.
Tell me who you are.
Now I can see.
Stella and Annie.
Oh, Stella and Annie. Very good. Stella. Annie. Okay, Maggie, Melissa, Stella, and Annie at the band office. Can you type on a computer at the band office and type in syllabics?
No, I can on my phone.
On your phone. I'm most interested in people being able to do it on their computer so that you can get both hands on a keyboard. Doing it on your phone is fine too, but to practice, to learn, to read and write Naskapi, you really should be sitting at a computer to do it. So Madeline, you could learn to do this on your computer. People at the Naskapi Nation office, you need to get this installed on your nation computers.
Yeah, okay, we'll do.
All right. And I'm going to demonstrate a little bit here, but then we can also get help from each other during a private message later after the course. Ben is willing to help, and I'm willing to help. Cynthia, do you have a computer at home, Cynthia?
E online está.
Cynthia, unmute yourself so I can hear you.
iTunes.
I can't hear you, Cynthia. All right, Cynthia, I'm talking to Cynthia. Cynthia, well, you're using a tablet right now? What's that? A phone?
I'm going on the computer,
Okay.
but I don't know where to go.
All right, you'll be able.
Naskapi Radio.
All right, you'll be able to go on the computer. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate it. I will share my screen and show everybody how to do this.
We say that and then type it.
Keyman desktop.
I'm going to stop that one.
Naskapi comment.
저지도 다른다. 또 다와 컴퓨터.
New users.
All right, if you're on a computer, this is the Naskapi Radio website. It has the picture of the map of Kawawa here at the top. And on
I
this,
see that.
over on this side where it says about, on this side where it
Okay.
says about, you scroll down some, and where it says add Naskapi syllabics to your device, you click this link. And when you click it, it will go to a website. And this is the website. And it has all of the different, you can install it on Windows, you can install it on a Macintosh, you can install it on your iPad, you can install it on Android, whatever device you have.
Okay, I see it now.
Okay, that's where it
Yeah.
is. So now I'm going to show you how to do it on a computer, because I really want you to do this on a computer. When you set it up to do on your computer, you will get this little icon on your screen called Keyman Desktop. My mouse is going around it right now.
I don't know if it's the right word.
Just watch me this time, and then you can try it yourself on your computer. So once you've downloaded it and it installs on your computer, you get this icon, Keyman Desktop. But you need to get through a couple more steps in order to type in Naskapi. You have to run this program. That means you need to point to this program. I hear you laughing. You need to point to this program and double click. When you point to it and double click, it will run. Come on. It didn't run. It's already typing in Naskapi. It will run, but it'll put a little icon down at the bottom of the screen next to the clock. There's a little icon here. But that icon is hidden when you first install the program. You need to make that icon show. To make that icon show, you have to follow these steps. You need to change the notification icons. Notification. Turn off syllabics first. Taskbar, notification area. This area down here next to the clock on your computer is called the taskbar notification area. And you need to change one thing. You need to change the icons that appear on the taskbar. This part, this one right here. Select what icons appear on the taskbar. And then you need to choose this Keyman desktop so that it actually shows on the taskbar. And then when you cancel that, it shows up down here as a little tiny icon that looks like this big icon on the desktop. So the icon on the desktop just starts the program. This one down here runs the program. And usually it's hidden when you first start it. So you need to have the notifications in the taskbar showing. To get to that place where I got the notifications showing, I clicked here and I typed in the word notifications.
Okay.
And I search notifications and you'll find the notifications app for the taskbar. And that's where you get to the command that tells you to turn on Keyman. You have to show, it says select here which icons appear on the taskbar, and then you need to make sure that this one is turned on. The one that says Keyman desktop, that needs to be switched on so that it shows down here. All right, does that make sense? Again, we'll be able to help you offline after the course is over.
Okay.
You can private message me, private message Benjamin, and we can show you how. We can walk you through. I can help you to actually get it on your computer. Once it's on your computer, this switches on the Naskapi. You turn it on by clicking on where it says Naskapi Uni Common, and the icon changes to blue. It has the little letter N there, and then the N syllabic. And then when you click it again and you choose English, and it switches off, and now the icon looks like that. Here's how it works. When you type, you get a document that you want to type on in Microsoft Word, or this is LibreOffice. This is that free version of Microsoft Word. And you can start typing, like I'm typing, and it'll type in English. To switch this to syllabics, you click on an icon down here where it says Keyman Desktop. You choose the blue button for Naskapi Uni, and now every letter that you type will be in syllabics. Just like that. And you continue to type in syllabics. The way the word sounds to you, you type it the way it sounds with using the same letters. And then when you're done typing in the syllabics and you want to type in English again, you click on the blue icon at the bottom. You choose English, and then you can type, and it types the way in English again. So your assignment this week is to get this installed on a computer. Go to that link on the Facebook page, double click it to install it in the computer, and then turn it on in the notification area so that the keyboard icon shows up down here, so that when you click on it, you can choose Naskapi. When you choose Naskapi, it turns blue. And after it turns blue, everything you type will be in syllabics. When you want to type English again, you click on the English button, and when it changes to the other icon like that, it will type in English. Any questions? So that's your assignment. Get your computer so that you're able to type in syllabics. If you can get that done in the next day or so, you'll say, well, what's the rest of my homework? The rest of your homework is this. Let me switch off my screen sharing for a second. Once you're able to type in Naskapi, in order to learn your syllabics better, you need to actually do the typing in Naskapi. You actually have to do the typing. You have to open your computer and decide to type in Naskapi for a period of time. Cheyenne will remember that when she took the Naskapi McGill class, her assignment was to type in Naskapi for an hour a day. I'm just asking you to turn on your computer and type some Naskapi every day. What should you type? Let me tell you what to type. Get a Bible and copy the words out of the Bible into your computer. And there's a good reason I want you to do it this way. I don't want you to make up Naskapi out of your head and type it. I want you to practice by typing the Bible. Open up to a book of the Bible. I have this open to the book of Luke. And put that Bible next to your computer. Go to the first chapter and the first verse, and then turn on your computer. I'm gonna share my screen so I can do that with you. Turn on your computer, and then type what you see in the Bible into the document. And let me tell you why this is important. It's important because this Bible has been very carefully gone over by the elders and by translation checkers, and we've checked all the spelling, and it's one of the best, not the absolute best, but it's one of the best documents that is spelled correctly in Naskapi. You will learn how Naskapi is spelled by typing the words that are in the Naskapi Bible. So as you type along, you say, oh, that's funny, I wouldn't have spelled it that way. Well, there's a reason for that. It's because you're not used to the proper, the correct, the standard way of spelling things. The late elder Joseph Guanish told us the right way to spell things. And he's the one that helped us to spell things the way things are spelled in this Bible. So to practice typing, you should be practicing something that is spelled correctly to start with. And you should practice often, and you should practice as long as you can afford. So get the computer open, get it to type in syllabics, open the Bible, go to the first chapter, the first verse, and I would suggest don't start with Matthew. Matthew is the first book of the Bible. That's the first chapter of Matthew is full of names. Those are very hard. Go to the next book of the Bible, Mark or Luke or John. I've opened up the book of Luke here, chapter 1 and verse 1, and I'm going to just type what I see. The first letter is Chi. So I turn on the syllabics. If I start to type and I get Chi and I see English there, I know that something's wrong. So I'm going to delete that and then turn on my syllabics at the little button down here, choose the blue icon. And now if I type Chi, C-H-I, I get the first letter. The next letter is a small y, and I type that one, and there it is. After you type the first word, you type a space with your key on the keyboard, and then the next word. It happens to be somebody's name. The person's name is Theopilas. So it's T-I-Y-U-P-I-L-L-A-S. Theopilas. Yes.
So you're using a Bible that's sitting next to your computer, right?
This is the Bible that's sitting right next to my computer, a piece of paper, a Bible on paper next to the computer. Don't try to type from a Bible that's open on your screen of your computer. Type from a real physical paper Bible next to your.
Well, I was going to ask if some people don't have a Bible in their house in Naskapi, could you show us how to get to the Naskapi Bible online?
Sure, absolutely. I'll do that.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
When you say type the Bible, is the Bible in English or in Naskapi?
No, this Bible is in Naskapi. This is a Naskapi Bible. The Naskapi Development Corporation translated this Bible, and it was published in 2007.
Okay.
So
I only have the brown book.
Yeah,
grandmother had a long time ago.
That brown book that your grandmother had is in James Bay Cree. So that's not exactly Naskapi. It's close. And everything I'm teaching you here, you'll be able to read your brown book a lot easier if you have it. But this is Naskapi as it's spoken and written in Kawa-Chikamach. So this is there's only one Naskapi.
Okay.
And that's the Naskapi that's spoken at Kawa-Chikamach. It's a little bit different from Cree.
Okay.
And that's why I'm having people actually type out of the Naskapi Bible. You can actually print a page from the Bible off the internet and then have the page sitting next to you on the computer on your desk and follow along.
Question, Bill.
Yes, go ahead.
Bible Bible God's word and lectionary readings for Sunday. What brown?
Can I see you? Let me see. You're showing it to me?
Yeah, that's the lectionary.
All right, that's the lectionary. That's got you could actually use that. That would work for you. Yes, you could type from that. That would work fine.
Okay, go.
What that book is there, that red book, is selections from the Bible.
Okay.
It's a piece for every Sunday morning.
Okay.
So that's what that is. So you could use that just as well, though. That has been just as carefully checked, if not more better checked, than what's in the Bible.
Okay.
But my point is that we want to be typing Naskapi words that are spelled the right way, so that as we type, we also learn the spelling. That's what we did in English. I mean, you can read and write in English quite well, but you did it because over years and years and years, people have been writing English the same way. They always spell house with an H. House, And so the Naskapi language is the same way. The words are all spelled in a consistent way in the Bible. So I'd like you to be practicing your typing by copying out of the Bible into a computer. The benefit of this is that you will be also following along with a syllabic chart, and so you'll know what letters to type. So as you look at the very next letter in the Bible here, there's a chi there. The letter would be chi, and so you type the letter C-H-I. Here, let me get it back over here. Chi. And then the next letter is ki, K-I. And then there's a space, and then the next letter is ah, and the next letter is yi, and the next letter, just like that, just like I'm doing. Mo, next letter is mo, you type M-O. Next letter is T, T-I. The next letter is ma. The next letter is T. The next letter is N. So as you type those letters into the keyboard, your muscle memory and your brain will be learning to read and write Naskapi better, and you'll also be learning the spelling, the standard spelling, which is what we're going to get to once we start reading. But if you can get Naskapi into your computer so that your computer can type in Naskapi, then spend some time every day typing a little bit of Naskapi. In the Naskapi McGill class, the requirement was to type for an hour a day. Nobody has that kind of time unless you're taking a university course. If you do have an hour a day, go ahead. Spend an hour a day typing Naskapi and you'll be the fastest reader in our class. It's just that simple. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Any questions? Cheyenne, I'd like you to unmute yourself and give a little bit of testimony of how you learned with this method and why this is helpful.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Stick.
Hello.
Ah,
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Hi.
can we type from the blue hymn book or from the lexicons?
I would prefer that you typed stories. So if you could get a Bible or one of the Naskapi legend books,
Okay.
one of those, then that would be much better than from the dictionary or from the songbook.
Okay.
The songbook isn't natural Naskapi. The songbook is translated songs, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not the best. The best is either a legend book or the Naskapi Bible.
Okay.
Take your pick. Did I
Okay.
say why?
No, I said maybe you want to say a little bit about why, because like when you guys did translation, you did context translating, ja.
Yes. Yes, and these books are done in the best consistent spelling that we can. A lot of care was taken so that the words are spelled right in these books. All right. Any more questions about typing Naskapi?
Can you show us how to find the Bible?
Oh, how to find the Bible. Okay. Everybody who's on this has gotten an email from me, and in the email there are links. There's also those links that Ben showed you on the Naskapi Radio Facebook page. And one of those links goes to the Naskapi Bible. Let me go to Naskapi Radio, the one that says Naskapi Bible on Scripture Earth. I'm going to turn on my screen sharing and go there. All right, screen share. There. Share. Okay, you should be seeing Facebook. There's the Naskapi Radio Facebook. There's About on the side. Here's the third one down. It says Naskapi Bible on Scripture Earth right here. Naskapi Bible on Scripture Earth. This is where all the Naskapi Bible that we have published in these books is available to read on the internet. So if you click on that, it'll go to this list, the Bible in Naskapi. To see the text of the Bible, you go to the second one down where it says text with audio and choose a book. I'm going to choose the book of Luke because that's the one I was just doing with you. Book of Luke. And voila, there it is. This is just what I was typing. Chi, Theopolis, Chika, Emo, Matem, Emotimaten, and Miwachimun, Tanka Ish, Pamatishit, Jesus, Ut Ashtich, Magwach, Atayach, Katat. If you want to, you could print this page and have that alongside while you're trying to type Naskapi. Don't try to do it on the same screen, though. It's very difficult. I want you to be looking at and focusing on the thing that you're typing and then comparing it with what's in the book. All right? And if you're here and you just want to listen to Joe Guanish read it, you just hit the play button and you'll be able to hear him play. We did this last week, but I'm not going to do that right now because I want to get further on to the next thing in our course. Any questions about typing Naskapi and why I want you to type from the Bible? I was going to ask Cheyenne because Cheyenne was in my class for 4 years and she learned how to read and write by this method. I'd like Cheyenne to share with the other Naskapis what she learned about typing from the Bible in Naskapi for an hour a day.
We learn over time, like judge beginning words say that new word you don't read, you need to look at all the letters. Ganun check at the din na Naskapi up Jamie Dane. Na tempeg the words come up chitak niyani. Dahati niya bell those miamisadaw chamendo. Dahan got the stoneman the first 3 syllabics dahan got chamendo. Kaya mijado 8 stain. Mijado na decision niya but na 8 stain. Mijado kat piag sita kasi na imune mitain. memna chamendo. Ich beschmerkt like like syllabic per syllabic chimdan chi sham agno kakatiachin kya katasagati mishuk chaki chak mishkachawi chiwo na chitastagade nuskej menuju nustuta shunuju nuju na say to manya why goes to do me judge ni go type at utmen go to say dan chakat it's at stachi imun mechanuta pincha chi na sound out to the men shabdas that stani certain bake doggy panatin bake down ni moon anganat stach kya mustau ang gyune ge shi mit mustau pa cheyu che chi da much kya myam bake cheyu ka ji da bada chi is shot mustau imun kwan kun en twi chi kan cha kya Jackie pa machitadan jawan just sabudat sedan atstaj na imun. Miam bacon at utmach English. Kya Amy Dane twish kat chibi in Amy Dane. Judge we chicken yapits na Amy Dane type at utman. Job sedan sound out student type at the dean. Kat sedaman na imun at Amy Dane. Ketan jway di dagan. I'm mute that much. Okay.
Good. Just go in. All right. So the key to learning syllabics and learning to read syllabics well is repetition. It's doing several different things. One of them is to type the Naskapi into your computer on a regular basis, just as Cheyenne described, from some good written Naskapi text, like the Bible or like one of the legends. Another one is to practice these letters. Does anybody know the whole syllabic chart? Well, that's good. This isn't for you. But if you're still struggling with it, this is one way to do it. You only need to know 10 letters in Naskapi syllabics, just 10 separate shapes. This is one of them. This is the vowel. And when it points up, it's for the vowel sound E. And when it points to the to my left and your right.
All right.
Yeah, that's U. And when it points to the right, it's A. So associate the right with A, associate the left with U, associate up with E. E, U, and A. Associate the dot with W. So this is the we, and then there's wa, which is pointing to the left. We is up, wa is pointing to the left. These are just as simple. This is the P shape, so it's P, pa, po. T, da, do. Ki, this one doesn't turn the same way. This one turns over this way. It flips. So to go from ki to ka, the stick, instead of holding up the letter, the stick is now on the right hand side. And now it's on the left hand side for cool. And all the rest of them work the same way. There's Chi, Cha, Chu. There's me. There's Ma. There's Mu. Difference between Ma and Mu is a mirror. It goes over on that side. So follow the stick. The stick goes on this on the U side. The stick, the vertical stick goes on the A side. This is ni. Ni works a little bit different. It's sideways. It's the round part that is holding it up. This is na. Ni, na, and no. Si, sa, so. Yi, ya, and yo. If you're teaching somebody, that's the best way to learn it. So if you want to make yourself a set of cards like this and teach it to somebody else, teach it to your children. You can have a lot of fun with cards like this if you hold them up in front of your kids and say, what's this letter? And get them all to say it. That's what we did in our Naskapi McGill classroom. I held up the letter and everybody said, B, ba, boo, depending on which way it was being held. All the syllabic characters fit together in a chart. So here's the 10 letters in a column. E, we, B, D, ki, chi, mi, ni, si, and yi. And this is alphabetical order for syllabics. Every indigenous language that uses syllabics has agreed that this is the alphabetical order. So the first letter in the Naskapi alphabet is not A, it's E. And then after that comes U, and after that comes A, and then after that comes we, then after that comes wa, in that order. That's the alphabetical order in Naskapi and in Cree, in all the different Crees. That's the same, it's the same order. And the first column is the E column, the second column is the U column, the third column is the A column. These small characters are just small versions of the A character, except for W. And these are a combination of W going with the A character. So if this is pa over here, with add a dot to it, and it's pwa. This is cha over here, you add a dot to it, and it's chua. But really, these last two columns are just generated from what we already have. The W character is a big version of the dots, because dots are for W's. And all the rest of them are just large versions of the pa, ta, ka, cha, ma, na, sa. All they are is the consonant by itself. And in case you haven't realized so far, this chart shows you what letters you type when you type in syllabics. So you can type KU in the syllabic program and get this one. You can type KWAA and get this. Sometimes the English letter is doubled, and that means it's a long vowel. Sometimes it's not doubled, and that means it's a short vowel. And right now we're not going to worry about that because Naskapi doesn't write it differently. Cree does. Cree puts a dot on the top for long vowels. So two A's has a dot on the top. So in Cree, if you put a dot on the top of that character, that would be the AA, the long A. But in Naskapi, we don't put those dots on the top for length. So this is both short A and long A. Pronounced for short A and for long A. You don't have to worry about that right now because we don't mark the difference in Naskapi. Somebody said, what about those other letters? Well, there are other letters. here it says other symbols. Oh, look at those. It says here at the bottom, these sounds do not occur in Naskapi. Well, they used to didn't, but now they kind of do because Naskapi has been exposed to English for so long. When we first came to Kawa-Chickamauch, we had friends named Willie and Lucy. And everybody pronounced their names Winnie and Nusi. They used, instead of the L's and the R's, they used N's. And that's normal Naskapi. That's good Naskapi. But because we have so many young people that have names that are spelled with L's and R's, we had to add the L's and R's to the language. Now, these are not added just to Naskapi. These L's and R's are also added to all Cree languages. So when they needed to use L's and R's, they added those. But there are no Naskapi words that have these letters in them. And so if you learn those last, that's all right. They're only in names. They're only used to spell names, like
I have
Lucy.
a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I noticed there's no sound sha. Like
Yes, there is no sound sha in Naskapi because Naskapi uses one letter. This set here. These letters here are pronounced in Naskapi as S, Si, Sa, Su, and also as Shi, Sha, and Shu.
yeah.
So in Cree, there is the Sha sound, and it's separate from the Sa sound. But in Naskapi, we only have the one. We don't contrast the Sha from Sa. So we use this letter to cover both of those.
Okay.
So when I spell the word for fish, Namesh, I use this letter.
Which one?
This one, Namesh.
Okay.
So to spell the whole word, I would say na, ma, and a s, Namesh. Namesh. So those three letters to spell Namesh. Nema.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we use if we want to say something that starts with SHA, we use SA.
Yes, exactly.
There used to be a SA, like Shanut,
Yes.
Shana.
Yeah. Like Shana.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? When you say,
What did you do with it?
what did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Cree. It was actually Joe. It was Joe, and it was actually probably Joe's father. It was the generation before the last generation of elders that decided what words we used in Naskapi, what sounds we used in Naskapi. People like Willie Swappy. I have Willie Swappy's journal. Willie Swappy wrote an awful lot. So did John Piasaduk. John Piasaduk could write, and he wrote a lot. And every time they wanted the sha sound, they wrote it with the sa character. So we're standing on the shoulders of our elders.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about H?
I
don't see H on here, but we say it all the time. We say nihi,
yeah.
and we say uhu.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let me go back to that other syllabic chart. All right. So on the syllabic chart, it says here the symbol, this symbol here. It looks like a quote mark. There's two lines side by side. That is the H. It's only used in Naskapi between two vowels in words like nihi or uhu. We don't use it except in those places. You can type it by pressing the letter H and then follow it with an equal sign. And so we can actually type that sound. But it's only used in places where it comes between vowels like that.
So there's no words in Naskapi that start with H. Yeah.
Right. There are no words that start with H. Now, there's some that sound like they start with H, but they actually start with K.
What about names that start with H?
Okay, if you have a name that starts with H, then you can spell it using this letter.
Or could you use the dot?
You can use the dot if their name is like
For Hazel.
Yeah, Hazel. Okay, yeah, there's a choice. Let me share a different screen. You have a choice.
Or Haley.
Yeah. Everybody wants to know how to spell their kids' names. Let me make this bigger.
And I was asked to spell all the kids' names in the school.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. And that's always treacherous. It's very difficult to do that because they may come back to you and say, no, we don't spell it
not
that way.
right.
That's not right. And so it's always best to say, get your grandmother to spell it for you and bring it in. So you could spell Haley this way, or you could spell Haley this way.
Wouldn't there
Or
be
you
an
spell
E
it this
in
way.
between Hailey or?
And you could spell it this way. It's ask somebody how to spell their name in English these days. And you'll find that people spell their name. Now, back in the day when it was Bill or Ben, I mean, there's only one way to spell them. But
no, even your name is not spelled the same way. Because remember, your name is spelled Bill.
Bill.
You don't use that.
Right. I do not spell my name this way. I spell my name this way. Bill. Because that's the way people say it. But that's like the difference between Willie and Winnie. So this is Willie. This is Winnie. Everybody said Winnie. When Willie wrote his name, he wrote Winnie. So you could also spell Haley this way. Haney. You could, so don't come to me and ask me to be an authority on spelling names. But what you should do is go to your elders and ask them, how would you spell this name? And if your elder says spell it a certain way, then that's the way the child should learn how to spell it.
That's where the last name Uniam came from, Gevich.
That's right.
Uniam is William.
That's right. But if you try to spell William, it would be Williama. But this is really Uniam in Naskapi. This is William. William.
Do you know any elders that are familiar with translating names?
Yes, Elma Chmagnus.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's yeah, isn't there?
And George.
Ours changed to W, and all else changed.
Oh, ours.
My name.
Yeah. Well, then there's like look at this one. Oh yeah. Yeah. How would you say that? Hubert, right? So you have some choices here. You could say Ra. But it's better. Hubert. So there's two different ways to say it. the best way is
You.
to ask an elder. It's Yupin. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing that. Okay. So H's, yeah, we use them sometimes. And like you said, when you want to do Haley, yeah, it'd be good to maybe put the H in the front. Otherwise, her name would come out as Ailey. But ask an elder. I can help you get it spelled, but let the elder give you their opinion on how, because we just had lots and lots of variation here. All right. Before we end today, there's the last thing I wanted to do, and that is to show you the other assignment. So far, we have covered several ways to learn Naskapi. One of them is to type the Bible. Another way is to practice the syllabics. The third way is to read the Bible. Now, we showed you that you could open the Bible on your computer and get Joe Guanish to read it to you, which is all well and good, but you should actually be practicing reading yourself. And so I'm going to show you what we'll be practicing here. These books that I'm sharing right now were one of the first sets of children's books to be published in Naskapi. In fact, these are the first books of any kind to be published in the Naskapi language and spelled in a way that is consistent. These were first published in 1994 by the Naskapi Development Corporation and the Canadian Bible Society, and they are storybooks with pictures and nice big print that's easy to read. When we had the course teaching the Naskapi Middle Group how to read in Naskapi, we passed out these books, and these books are available at the Naskapi Development Corporation, and they're also available in the Naskapi eBooks link in on the Facebook page. So go to the Facebook page, find the page that says Naskapi eBooks, and these are those books. I'm going to put the first page of the first book up on the screen, and we'll practice reading to each other. And this, even though it can be embarrassing as you try to read in front of everybody, it is one of the best ways to learn how to read well, is to actually have to do it. And so I'm going to ask you to do it. But I will do it too, okay? So I'm in this with you. So I'm going to share the first page of that book. There it is. So that's the first page of this book. It's available in your ebooks. This is Walking with Jesus, Book 1, the beginning of the story of Jesus. Ka beach at the Batchamaganot, Jesus. Just read it out loud. And I'm going to go down to the first story. There's always a chart. We always put a syllabic chart in every one of these books. So if you ever get stuck and you wonder, how I forgot that letter, you can always turn to the chart. And then there's an introduction, but here's where the story starts. Mani ka nokasistagut anchana. And here's the story. Can everybody see it on the screen? All right, I may ask you to unmute and read something, but let me begin. Ishbimak, ashutach datu bishumwa, ka ishbis kinoa mashut Elizabeth, chamando chi itasawao, and ya engina, Gabriel, ka ishnakaswiti, and ta Galilee astich, and ta Nazareth, ka ishnakataich, otanayo. An engine chi itasawagno chaji intuapmat, Ustinisquawa, marry. Ishinehasuiji. So I read the first 2 sentences. The next, where we are right now is right here with this next word. And so I'm going to ask for a volunteer to read the next sentence. Unmute yourself and start from where I highlighted and read. And we'll all listen. But we will not judge. We will listen. Go ahead. Who's going to read?
Mary Marchba Nibu Anya Joseph Kaisnika Shuiji. Napawa Jaji Witmat. Oh, Napa Jaji Witmat. Umak Joseph Ji Anya Anista Umusum Anya Jishao Jimawa.
Very good. Very good. Okay, stop there. You don't have to read anymore. Somebody else.
Can you move your cursor, Gabish?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I can try. I don't know.
Well,
how
yeah,
to do it.
and it's okay to go really slow. You could even say G, na,
Chi
ni.
ni
Yeah,
tu-
go ahead.
Okay. Chi ni tua pemiko. Chi
Good.
tua moko mak Mary. Is it Mary?
Yeah, it's Mary. Yeah.
Anya. Angina. Wait, what's that word? Ku. Kwaitakut. Kwaitakut. Chiamayuta. Was. Utipayu chichao. Chiwichao. Chiwichauko. Chishamanto. Mishi. Chishuayomok.
Excellent. Very good. Well done. That's okay. It's okay to read it slowly like that and just try to figure out every letter at a time. That's very, very good. And I want somebody else to begin reading at the next Mary right here. Volunteer.
I'll try.
Go ahead.
Maui Mak G Sha G. I can hardly see G Sha Ma G. Okay, G Sha G Shun. Maui Mak G. 真的比下一个心。Go.
Oh, all right, next.
G Sha
Mary Machisha Chisho Kia Chi Miskatemuko. We are done Kai Takenot. Kia Chimam Mi Tonato.
Almost. Go back. Say that word again. Good.
Yeah, dan kay si iti magot with magot
Ma'am.
ani ya ya luwa Anjana.
Okay, before I turn the page.
Aniwa Anjana.
Aniwa Anjana. Okay. Before I turn the page. Yes.
저거는 마스티니는 X 기능은 좋아.
I'm going to X. Period. I'm going to period.
Period.
Yeah, that's a period. That's the end of the sentence. That's just like a period. All the rest of punctuation, like these here,
okay,
are the same as English.
Okay.
but this X is a period in Naskapi.
Not period sentence.
All right.
Okay.
The other thing that I want to focus on with you guys as we practice reading together is knowing what it is we read. So it's okay to look at a word like this, chi, sha, chi, sho, and keep saying it to yourself until you realize what it means. Mary Max, chi, sa, chi, so. What is that? Satsu. It's in the Naskapi language, there's a lot of short vowels that are dropped out when you speak. And this word is pronounced chishatsu. And she means she was afraid, right?
Yeah. G.
And this word. Miskatetamiku. So she was surprised or she was amazed. So as you read it, if you don't know what it means yet, look at it again and try to say it until it comes out so that, oh, I recognize that word. She miskatetamiku.
In the share next, not something mem go back ni mem na marry mak. Shabuto biyak stay on na chakwan na imitek na skoko imitek. Kipa shabuto bina cha mem marry mak. Chi sha chi mikasay tumaga what you're second to unita na way imitain chakwan. Kipa. Go imitate na just same word. Chat department and tan chibuiti tak chat chikiba chibadanu words. I'm going to chisate mak chijanya chibadanu ni muna. Just state mak niya ati tak nichi. Numeda na ati na Sharon. I'm going to natum jatina. Bake down the jatin until nas mute shwina na asi shwain.
Okay.
And that's why it's important that we do this together. So that when you get stuck on a word and you say, I don't even know what that means, the rest of us can help because we're not here to judge. We all want to help each other to understand how to read better. And so at first, Jishiguaiman, you're very ashamed or shy about it. But I think in a circle like this that we can help one another to understand what it is we're reading. In the future weeks, as we get through this book, we will be doing this sort of thing. I will, Cheyenne will recognize this. And this was what we used to do in the class. We would look at a page of words and say, okay, let's find what nouns and verbs there are. Now, some of you may not even know what a noun is. A noun is just somebody's name. Like this is the name of God, Chamado, okay? Or this is the name of the angel. Well, it's going to come out in a minute. Sometimes it's slow. There it is. That's the name of the angel. And so as we finish a page, we'd spend some time going through and looking for all of the nouns. Galilee Astich, it's the name. It's the name of a place. And this is very, very helpful to help us to understand how words work. After we've identified all the nouns, we go back and we identify the verbs. So we look for verbs like this is a verb. God sent the angel. Chamando itisawao. Chitisawao, the angel. Chamando, he's the one who sent the angel. Chitisawao, that's what he did. So the two main kinds of words that there are in Naskapi, there's actually three kinds of words, but we're going to work on these two. There are nouns, which are names of things, and there are verbs, which are what that person or thing does. Nouns and verbs. And so as we read and understand more, we will read and then identify the nouns and verbs, and then we'll take it from there and learn a little bit about Naskapi grammar. And knowing a little bit about how Naskapi grammar works will make you a much better reader than just trying to sound out every letter one after the other. Josh, I am. All right, we're getting toward the end of our time. Any questions before we go any further? Remember, your homework is to figure out how to type in Naskapi on your computer. Reach out for help. Try to get your computer to be able to type in Naskapi. And then once you can do it, find a Bible or a one of the published legend books and copy out of that book the words into your computer. That's going to be your practice. And then you're going to try to read some of the Bible every day. Any questions? Everybody unmute yourself to say goodbye.
I have one quick question.
Sure, go ahead.
When we say yes, I used to say nee, but I noticed today generation they say nee. What's the right word?
Yeah. The right word for nihi is eh. It's, you can say nihi, nay. But it's the proper spelling is nihi. The same thing happens in English. We have a lot of words that we don't spell exactly the way we say them. We spell it in a standard way, but we say it in more of a slang way.
Okay.
All right. So the right spelling will be in these books.
And also the reason why we use the X for the period is because Naskapi people use the period as W. And so if you put a period at the end of every sentence would end with wo.
That's right. It's because dots are used for W's, and they're also used, we'll learn later, it's also used for H when it's combined with K. That's in the chart. You can read about it, but we'll cover that later. That was something an innovation by Joseph Guanish and John Piasatu, which made Naskapi spelling the way it is. They use the dots for that, but that's why we don't use a dot for a period.
Okay.
All right. All right, we're about to say goodbye, and you may come in and tell me goodbye or ask a question.
Well, I missed out.
Yes.
You're 3 minutes. I missed out. Ich bin on my phone. I don't know what happened.
I'm sorry. I have a recording, and I will post that and send it out to everybody on the email. I recorded the whole session.
Okay, go.
It's good to see you, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, thank you.
All right, no problem. Just come in now.
Bye.
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 Bye.